get video. Is that good? Okay, great. Well, we're going to do our toast from here tonight. But before we do that, before we turn it back over to Amy, first of all, Amy, thank you for this amazing evening. And thank you for Sean. And we love Sean so much, and we're so grateful. I get the chance to officiate tomorrow, so I'm not going to do much tonight because I'm going to do that tomorrow. I want everybody to have time. But I did want to say thank you to Amy. Thank you to my bride, Jamie. Jamie and I have been married 31 years, and I'm going to tell you something. I was a little scared about doing a wedding with Jamie at one time, but you were amazing. Thank you. My wife was just adorable all the way through it. And she's adorable tonight, too. You look very good. Yeah, thank you. She always does. And then in my prayer, it just kind of came out about a guy I heard speak one time that said, some people come into your life to stay. And before I turn this over to Jamie, that just popped out. I do want to thank you all again for that. I meant that. I mean, I can go around every one of these tables, the Campbells, what Beth and Andy have meant to us as Jamie's aunt and uncle and their kids that were in our flower girls in our wedding. Jamie was a flower girl in Beth's wedding. I mean, this family has been so important to us through our formation. Thank y'all. Table back here, Sean's friends, both these two tables. Thank y'all. I didn't know Sean, didn't have a history with Sean, but thank y'all for being in his life, being here tonight, just the things I'm already learning. About Sean. I mean, I know this stuff about. I know who Sean is as a person, and I just thank you all very much for being here. The roommates, the influence that a roommate will have on you. I mean, Nick and Tate, what y'all have meant to him. Thank you. The back table with the grandparents. How many of us, Lee and Carol, Paw and Nanny? Is that right? I got it. And James and Nancy back at the back. Granddad and Nana. Thank y'all for the influence you've had on our kids. Y'all grandparents, I don't know about how many of y'all were influenced by grandparents like me, but that's serious stuff. Marcy and Silas, thank you. Marcy, for teaching my daughters, these twins, the love of art. I remember they came over to your house every Friday night and drew pictures. Thank you. They wouldn't have known much about art with Jamie and me, but thank you. Back table back here, I could cry. And okay, y'all got to pray for me tomorrow. I'll probably say this tomorrow, but I prayed their whole life for godly friends because that's important. That's before a godly husband. And I just thank y'all. Y'all are amazing girls. And I'm praying for all y'all's husbands too. Already got Molly's. So Justin, so thank you. This table right here, some of our dearest friends in the world that have been with us through good times and bad times. Thank y'all. All three of y'all, thank y'all for what you've meant to us, to our family, to Jamie and me in our marriage, to our faith, and to our daughters, what y'all poured into these girls and what your kids have poured into them. Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca, for what Rebecca's done. Rebecca helps me at work, and she's just been a total servant here. Thank you. And this table here is my family. Thank you. The prayers and the way you poured in to my girls, I'm just grateful. So I'm full, very full. So I just want to thank y'all, all of you. And Jamie, why don't you come in? Because I'm going to talk about Sean and Ellie tomorrow. Thank you.
Do not want to speak after my husband. He's a professional at this, but I don't have notes, and I do not like to cry, so I'm probably going to be very brief, but I want to just start by telling you what it's like to be Ellie's mom. She was our firstborn by 2 minutes, but every minute counts when you're a twin. And I will have to say, for a long time, Zane and I took credit thinking we were great parents. But Ellie, you and your sister, and Emma was not in the picture at this point, but y'all were both wonderful. But Ellie, you came into the world what I would call a spiritual child. One of my first memories is walking upstairs when we lived in Montgomery, and there were 30 crosses. And I believe it was Sharpie. Mimi, do you remember? It was Sharpie. 30 crosses on the wall. And, of course, you can't get upset at a child who's drawing crosses. And I also remember the Jesus movie that they put in everyone's mailbox. I don't know if y'all remember that. And it was an adult version of the Jesus movie, but I was not really thinking about that. So I sat Ellie in front of it, and Judd, but you ended up somewhere else, Judd, doing something. But Ellie sat there, and I remember it was over an hour, and I walked in, and you were sitting there, and I believe you were 2. And you had huge tears streaming down your face during the crucifixion. And when I realized that was the adult movie and it was very graphic, I was thinking, what have I done to my child? But evidently, it was just, it's been part of you. You've always loved Jesus and you've always been spiritual. And one thing, your dad and I had the same prayer every day for all of you. And it was, dear Lord, help them to grow up to be a strong, godly woman, and you have, and help them love everyone, especially the unfortunate, and you have. And I was going to read an excerpt from your senior yearbook, what Andrew Wallace put in your yearbook, and those of you girls back there know Andrew. And what he put in your yearbook, the way you made him feel, somebody who was not really loved, that's who you are. I got a lot of calls from school about you, but they were all good. I had almost every elementary teacher that you had either called or emailed to tell me that you had sensed discouragement and written them a note or a letter. And a lot of times you would put money in the note. You'd put a $5 bill or a $20 bill or whatever you had. And things like that. And then I had parents, as you got older in high school, parents tell me, my child has had trouble in school and it's been hard, but your daughter encouraged them, made them feel special. So I just want to say you have made me famous as a mom and your dad famous as a dad. And when we thought that we had anything to do with it, we really didn't, because you're amazing. And Sean, Mayhem on the Mountain, how many years ago? Was it 2? 2. I had never met you, and I knew most of the people doing CrossFit, but I liked you instantly. And I remember thinking, wonder if he's dating anyone, and I was thinking that way. And then Ellie was like, no, he's a friend, Mom. He's nice, but he's a friend. But it stayed in my mind because I saw your energy, your enthusiasm, and your story unfolded, and it all worked out. But several things that I love about you. We've always told our girls, and I would tell any of the girls in here who are not married, outside of choosing a Christian, kindness is one of the most important things. Choose someone who's kind and watch the way they treat the people who are lesser, or the people who work in restaurants, just kind, because that's the way they're going to treat you and your children, and you are kind. And I saw that, and I've seen how you treat everyone. And Ellie's getting a good one. And you remind me also of Zane. You light up a room. You're full of energy, and I've never seen you negative or sad. I know you have your moments, but I just see so many beautiful traits in you. And my charge to you too is that marriage is the hardest thing you will ever do, and this will, the excitement and the infatuation will settle into real life. But if Zane and I have made it 31 years, it's only by the grace of God, and because we chose when the feelings were not there. And then we are to a point of old love, and it gets better when you get older. At least that's been our experience. So I just pray that you will always put God first. And then all of these people in this room, these people are anyone in here you can always turn to and do life with. And we love everyone here. We're so grateful and thankful for y'all. And I also, Sean, want to thank you for bringing your beautiful mother and Kim. I could not be more excited, and y'all are family forever. And we are so thrilled to just all be one big happy family. And I just love y'all, and we're so excited and can't wait till tomorrow. So.
Hello, everyone. If I don't know y'all, my name is Judd Torrance, and I'm Ellie's twin sister. And this isn't as long as it seems. I just did jumbo print so that if I get a little teary-eyed, I can read it. But I'm so excited to be here tonight, and I truly can't believe this night has come. To be honest, this is a moment I've often thought about a lot in my whole life. My family would often joke about pictures and memories that would be shared at our rehearsal dinners one day. And ever since Ellie and Sean got engaged, I've been so expectant for this night, while also dreading it just a little bit. Amidst the greatest joy of this season, selfishly, as Ellie's twin sister, I'm a little sad. Actually, a lot, sorry. It's been a bittersweet time experiencing real emotions. My best friend in the whole world, my womb mate, my roommate in college, my life teammate, by my side for almost every moment for the past 21 years. Not every moment, but almost every single day. Constantly by my side, confidant, best friend, inspiration, role model, and example is getting married. It's weird thinking about how things will be different in the absolute best way, though. It's been a loss a little bit, but I remind myself that I'm gaining the most amazing brother in the world. There's truly nothing like being a twin, and truly nothing like being Ellie Torrance's twin. There's no one quite like you, Ellie. Your drive, your determination, your courage, your loyalty, your intensity, your steadiness, your devotion, your steadfastness, and your wisdom are unlike any other. You give 150% in every single thing you do. You don't do anything halfway. You live an intentional life of excellence daily. Ellie, I've always been beside you, but I've always been behind you, following in your footsteps my whole life. It's been the greatest honor and blessing of my life, and you've always lived the role of the firstborn. I've always strived and followed and aspired to be like you in your drive, passion, heart, steadiness, athletic ability, CrossFit ability, sports, grades, and most importantly, your relationship with Christ and your love for learning and growing. Your leadership is something I've always wanted to emulate, and you are a natural. It's honestly frustrating at how impressive you are at every single thing you do. You truly excel in everything you do. Every high and low of each of our lives, you and I have been right by each other's side. School, doubles partners in tennis, roommates in college, lab partners in nursing, clinical group partners, and travel buddies. Even when we were separate, we were still technically together because we'd be cheering each other on the tennis court or basketball court sidelines. But my favorite season of all has been these past 3 years at Sanford. I will cherish every single moment and memory forever. I never knew how much closer we would get living in a tiny cube of a room. Waking up next to you and going to bed next to you has been a special thing. You're the first and last person I saw every day. Daily, you always directed me to the Lord and to His Word, laughing until we cried, talking about everything that happened to us that day and everything under the sun, and pushing each other to be better because we competed in almost everything we did. Countless hours and days and moments and memories together. I've had the absolute time of my life with you. And man, this past summer, from coffee dates to leading Bible study together, CrossFit, which has been my absolute favorite with you, to attempting and failing to read a book out loud together, it's been a dream that I've never wanted to end. I'm not quite ready for the changes that'll come after tomorrow, but selfishly, I would have never been ready. Sean, I've thought for a very long time about my first memory of you or when I first met you, but I can't remember. Truly, as much as I've reflected and jogged my memory, there just isn't anything coming to me. I can't figure out if I was just distracted or wasn't paying attention to you, but I just know you. No initial memory, no first impression. I'm sorry. But I can say is that ever since I have known you, I just don't know when it started, you've impressed me. And even though you didn't know it, you really had to earn my trust. I vetted and tested you a lot. You've continually blown me away with your love for life, Sean, your contagious laugh, your life-giving personality, and your zeal for the Lord. When I was showing a friend a picture of you the other day, she said, and I quote her, "Wow, that smile can only come from someone who has the joy of the Lord. I can just see it in those pictures, even though I've never met him." And Sean, that is so true. I so admire your work ethic, your character, your integrity, and your love for the Bible and truth. You're eager to learn and grow. And wow, your pursuit of Ellie. Thank you, Sean, for the way you love and cherish her. Even though your thought process confuses me sometimes, maybe I'm light. Your thoughts go way over my head. You think way too deeply for me. You make me lose when we're partners in pickleball. And we get on each other's nerves when our aggravative side comes out. I love it, and it's been my absolute favorite getting to know you. I love that almost everything we do is a competition, and I love beating you in almost all of them. Emphasis on almost. I love CrossFit partner workouts with you, even when I can never get a sip of water in because you're just too fast for me, and you tell Ellie to teach Judd how to row when we're in the middle of the rowing workout. Sorry, I lost my place. Okay, let's see. Sometimes I just have to snap at you because your song requests on road trips are not my style, but when someone starts requesting Moana, I'm so sorry. I have to put my foot down. I'm so excited you'll be my brother tomorrow. And Ellie and Sean, you two together, wow, what a powerhouse couple. It has been a joy to third wheel in y'all's relationship. I'm always so happy to chauffeur y'all to weddings in Oxford and in random small towns in Alabama. It's funny how y'all always have something to work on when we have a long road trip ahead. Whether it's your rehearsal dinner slideshow or your wedding registry, it's funny how I always look in the back seat and they're doing neither of the two. You two are my best friends, and I'm so excited for this union that God has brought together. You two are kingdom builders. You two are two of the most intentional, on-fire people I know. When I was talking to Sean one day this summer at the gym, I asked him what he was most looking forward to in y'all's marriage. Sean, you said, building a kingdom-oriented cloud of witnesses. Ellie and I both believe that if our relationship doesn't support the kingdom, then it is a failure, and that is what we want more than anything else. Our relationship should be a reflection of heaven and a reflection of God. I can't wait to witness how God works through y'all daily. And lastly, I'll close with this. I didn't know my mom was going to talk about this, but for the past 21 years, I vividly remember my dad praying over both Ellie and I each night. I remember a lot of the parts, but one has stuck out to me extremely vividly lately. My dad would pray for the man that both Ellie and I would marry one day. And Sean, you're an answer to all those prayers. You two are a picture of God's faithfulness that I've so tangibly seen in my life. I can't wait to witness all God does in and through y'all. And I'm going to give y'all some time, but I can't wait to come stay at y'all's house once y'all get settled in. I love y'all.
Hey everyone, I am Ellie's sister, as y'all all probably know, and I'm going to try to keep this brief because I've cried like 10 times already for no reason. So, Ellie, words cannot even begin to express how happy I am for you. You are the most genuine, hardworking, and understanding person I know. I tell my friends so often how much I strive to be like you. You attract others like a magnet, and you are so humble and never try to put the attention on yourself. Instead, you give all the glory to God. I am so thankful for all the nights you have sat with me and just let me talk to you about my problems, worries, and dreams. I am eternally grateful that you have never once judged me or made me feel like I was not good enough. I have not been the easiest sister to deal with, and you have shown me nothing but grace. I love you, Ellie, and I cannot wait to see what y'all do in y'all's marriage. And Sean, I just want to say that I could never have asked for a better man to marry my sister. You are the most joyful and radiant human beings I've ever met. I remember the night of you and Ellie's engagement when I was looking through my camera roll from the pictures, and all I saw was your head tilted back in laughter in every single one of them. You were so intentional with me and have shown that you genuinely care about me and being a part of my life. I have told my guy friends so many times about you and Ellie's relationship and how I refuse to ever settle for anything less than how you have treated Ellie and the man that you are. I love you so much and am so thankful for how you've been a part of our family's life, and you've truly made us all better. I love y'all so much. And I'm sorry
Wow, everyone's crying. Okay. Hi everyone. Okay. I'm Kim. I'm Sean's sister. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. I got the better genes. Okay. I'm just kidding. But yeah, me and my brother are 10.5 years apart. But when I was a little girl, he was already a teenager. And so naturally, like all younger siblings, I looked up to him a ton. I was always trying to do things that he did. However, me being so much younger than him, there wasn't much we had in common. But if I knew one thing, was that Sean loved basketball. It wasn't really my thing. But I desperately wanted to have something in common with him. And he doesn't know this, but one day I was like 8 years old, and I went out to our basketball goal in the backyard, and I got a ball, and I literally dribbled that thing for like 3 hours. And I hated it. And so the love of basketball was not for me, but that didn't stop me from trying to find things that we had in common. And so I knew that Sean really loved basketball, but he also loved music just as much. And when I was a little girl, Sean would always blare his music in the shower as loud as possible. And I often found myself sitting outside of his bathroom door so I could listen to the music that my big brother was listening to. And so at 6 years old, I had learned every word to the song American Pie by Don McLean. And I found a love for many other classic songs. Sean would go on to introduce me to many other genres of music that I will always listen to. I'll never forget the first time that I jammed out to Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne in your old Jeep. Thanks. Okay. As I continued to get older, I began to find a love for reading, but it wasn't until I was around 11 and I sat down to watch Romeo and Juliet with Sean in the living room, I began to fall in love with Shakespeare and many other classic works of literature, which have truly helped me become the person I am today. But no books would ever bond me and my brother together more than the Harry Potter series. If you don't already know, Sean Hiller is a huge Harry Potter nerd, like big time. And so is my mom. And so it was only natural that I read them too. And so to this day, Sean and I still enjoy trying to outwit each other on Harry Potter trivia or argue to each other about which wizarding house is the best, which is Slytherin. So, even though I looked up to many things that my brother did, now that I'm older, I look up to the person that he was and has become so much more. I have never met a person. I cannot do this. I have never met a person that could just simply laugh and light up an entire room. Oh my God. That when he talked, he could literally make anyone feel like they were the most important person in the world. And I've never encountered another person that could confidently belt out the lyrics of every single Taylor Swift song ever made. Or watch Gilmore Girls episodes on repeat. I've never met anyone else that could so easily cheer me up when I was sad, or devastatingly confused, or relate to me on a completely different level than anyone else. No matter how big or small the problem was, I always felt like I could come to you, Sean, and was sure that you would be able to give me the best advice to help solve it. And somehow, Sean, you always knew exactly what to say and when to say it. Even if I didn't know how I felt at the time, you always seemed to know. I would not be the person I am today without you, and I cannot express in words how happy I am for you to have found your person and love of your life. I've honestly never seen you happier. And one day, I just hope that I can find someone that makes me at least half as happy as Ellie makes you. I knew from the first day that you called to tell me about the beautiful girl at the gym that automatically caught your eye, that she was going to be the one to make a difference in your life, and that she was going to be the girl that changed the way you thought and acted in the best positive way possible. The girl that would show you what love truly was and what you had been missing from your life all along. And I couldn't be happier to have gotten to meet you, Ellie. From the first time that I met you till now, there has never been a moment where you have not been just exuberantly happy and positive, and being around you literally makes me want to be a happier and better person. I've never met someone and just automatically felt like I had known them my whole life and been able to tell them anything. I'm so happy to have been able to develop a relationship with you and your family. Y'all truly are the most positive and beautiful souls that I have ever met. And Sean, you have shown me that it truly is our choices that shows who we truly are far more than our abilities. And that is the best lesson that you can ever teach your little sister. I love you so much, Sean Head, and cannot be more thrilled to be a part of this amazing step in your life. Congratulations.
Okay. All right. We are going to open this up to anyone that would like to make a toast. So any of you brave souls out there that want to follow this table, step on it to the mic. You might want to come forward because Zane may get up here and take the mic all night.
All right, so my name is Kyle, and I am actually the best man, and I'm honored to be the best man. And I actually thought I never would be the best man, so I'm going to keep this short too, but I want to tell you why I didn't think I'd be the best man and why I am honored to be the best man. So with that being said, the first time I met Sean was actually in an interview for physical therapy school at UAB. And the question, it was a group interview, so I was sitting right next to Sean. And the question was, when was the last time you broke the law? And they said no speeding tickets. So we were like, okay, like, what do they want here? I was trying to think for everything, like what could it be? One girl said she parked in a handicap spot. And that's not a very smart decision. And Sean, I'll never forget it, Sean said he talked in the library. And so I was like, okay, this guy, I don't know about this guy. He said he talked in the library for this. So going forward, I thought I would never see him again. We ended up going to South Alabama for physical therapy school. First person I saw, Sean Hiller, the library talker. And so, so I see Sean. I was like, this guy has a lot of energy. I'm a little bit more reserved, more introverted. Knowing Sean now, he's introverted too, but he also is very expressive. And so things go along in PT school. We are raiding the cafeteria together, or the anything that was free, Sean and I were there. So all the leftovers, we were raiding that. We were still kind of acquaintances. It came time to apply for a job. It was like an assistant position for a research study, and one person was supposed to get it. And Sean and I both applied, the only two that applied, and they gave it to both of us. So then I was forced to hang out with Sean a little bit. We got to know each other a little bit, and this is when we started to really kind of engage in conversation and really find out who each other were. And so our first time we're out advertising, passing out flyers, and Sean actually asked me, hey, how's marriage? We had never really got on a deep level, so I was like, all right, cool. And he's like, we started talking about that a little bit, and then he asked, how do you define love? And I'll never forget that. We kind of discussed what I thought love was and what he thought love was, and at the time they were very, 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 very different. So I was like, okay, this is great. We'll have lots of good conversation. After that conversation, we actually had a 4-hour conversation at the house, and from there on out, the next 2 years, we had lots of deep convo we won't go into today. But for the next 2 years, every morning, worked out together, had deep conversation, continued on even through clinicals. He met Ellie. I remember the first time he called, I was actually with Rachel. Every time he called, Rachel was usually nearby, and I'd put Sean on speaker. And Sean was infatuated, obviously. And the one thing, he thought that you were too young. That was the one concern. And we were like, Sean, if she's a good girl, go for it. And so he's always talked about how much he's obviously liked you the whole entire time. And we told him just to go for it, and I'm glad he did. I really am. But going forward, I got to kind of see how Sean was in physical therapy school, and then a couple months after school, Sean came to Christ, and it's been really, really cool just to be a part of that, a small part of that, and see how the Lord's worked. Was nothing that I did. It was the Lord working in your heart, And just being able to be a part of that has been one of the most encouraging things. And I feel like I've actually told his testimony to more people than he probably told his own testimony. So it's been really, really encouraging, and just thank you so much for letting me be a part of that. But I wanted to talk about Sean and the three things that, 3 words that would describe Sean from my point of view. So number 1 is leader. I think anyone else would agree. Whatever Sean does, he is going to be at the front of the pack. He's not going to stay in the back and be passive. He's going to be the front end, whether that's with physical therapy stuff, whether that's whatever it is, and I know he'll do the same in marriage. And so as his best man, I vow to keep him accountable with that, and I need the same thing. So Sean's already done that for me, so I vow to do that, and I know you'll be a great leader. 2, he's passionate. I think we've all heard that as well. He's passionate about everything he does, and I knew that if he became a believer, he would be super passionate for the Lord, and I've seen that, and that has been the best thing to see. Every time Sean gets brought up, Sean and Ellie, my wife goes nuts. She's like, they are the cutest, and she loves y'all to death, and just seeing the passion there, it's been really, really cool to see. And the last one is loyal. We've had some times, obviously with our deep conversations, and he's been there for me, and I've been there for him, and I really appreciate that about you. So I appreciate that, Sean. The last 2 things, by no means a veteran with marriage, 4.5 years in, but we've been through some things too, and there's 2 quotes I want to leave with. So the first one, Paul David Tripp, one of my wife's favorites. So he says that the biggest threat to a marriage is a good marriage, and to go a little bit further, he talks about how coasting, a lot of times when things are good, we just want to coast. And marriage is work. Like we've said, it is work, but it is good work, and it's not in vain. It's for a purpose. And so with that, you got to continue to think about like a garden, pull weeds and plant seeds. It's always some work there, but don't let your marriage coast. And then 2, the last one, it's been really, really meaningful to me, has been that the love is not what sustains the marriage, but the marriage is what sustains the love. And just knowing that this is a covenant tomorrow, and I'm super pumped to be there for this covenant, to be able to see it actually take place, and just knowing that this is what's going to sustain the love. Even though we see the love, the marriage is what's going to sustain it. And it's been really cool to see Sean's view of love switch ever since our first conversation. So it's just been a pleasure. I love you both. We're here for y'all. So, yep, thanks.
Okay, so Ellie does not have any natural brothers. So as her oldest cousin of the group, I feel compelled to get up here and say something. I had to. My name's Jordan. I'm on Ellie's side of the cousins. I'm the only male. I'm the oldest. I'm the prince, the heir to the throne, all that stuff. So I feel like I do need to get up and say something. One of my fondest memories of Ellie, and this also involves Judd, growing up, and those of you who have heard me say this before are going to roll your eyes, but it's the best story that there is of you guys growing up. You guys are twins, but you're very different, and you have different emotions, and you kind of think through things differently. And Ellie has always had a seriousness about her. Ever since she was 1 and 2 years old, she would, look at an apple and just study it, just sit there mesmerized, look at that apple, and Judd's just, drinking the milk and sleeping, and wake up, drink the milk, go back to sleep. So Ellie always had a seriousness about her. And one of my fondest memories, Juliana, my sister, and I used to babysit for Judd and Ellie a lot. And I was probably 13 at the time, and Judd and Ellie would have been, about 5 or 6 or so. And they had come home from school, and their parents had just bought them what I presumed were cheap little bands for their hair. And I thought, these are just little cheap bands. But they came home one day, and their bands were both broken. Both girls had somehow broken their bands. And so I remember sitting at the dinner table. I had just been babysitting them, and so Jamie and Zane were sitting there, and Judd and Ellie were there. And I thought to myself, this is no big deal. The bands are broken. And unbeknownst to me, it was a big deal. And Jamie and Zane said, girls, come up here. And the tribunal was set. And the girls walked up, and they stood in front of their parents, and they were asked, what happened to your bands? And Ellie bowed her head, and Judd said, well, it was making a funny shape, and I kept kind of twisting it, and it broke. And Ellie said, yeah, I broke mine too. And judgment was passed. Zane said, okay, girls, you're not going to have sodas or movies for the whole weekend. And Ellie looked up and said, you mean for the whole night? And Zane said, no, for the whole weekend. And Ellie bowed her head in resignation. And Judd hopped off. Exactly like that. Ellie has always been the one to take things a little bit more seriously, and Judd has always been the one to live completely in the moment and just enjoy the joy that is there at the moment. But I think this seriousness does Ellie a lot of credit. And since you put the weight of glory up on screen, I'm going to go ahead with the C.S. Lewis theme. I'm sure you guys know that C.S. Lewis talks about how in a Christian, every Christian should have a seriousness with joy that underlies it. And a Christian should be humorous and should be able to joke and should be able to enjoy life, but in a way that has seriousness at its root, because when a Christian sees another person, he knows that that other person is an eternal being. So if I go ahead and take you seriously, then now we can joke, but we can joke with a seriousness underlying it. And so I wish your marriage all the serious joy possible. It's been interesting to me. Annie and I have been married almost 11 years now, and it's amazing to me. I always thought that the way I would bring the most people to Christ would be through telling them certain things, giving them a bullet list, and helping convince them of things. It has been amazing to me what a marriage does to attract other people to Christ. When the husband and wife are acting as Christ and the church, it does an amazing thing to draw people in, even non-believers who you would never think would have any respect for marriage. And so my wish for you is that you could have a marriage that truly reflects Christ and the church, and that will bring glory to God. So to Sean and Ellie.
Number two. So I'm Zane, number two. I learned that tonight when I first got here. But something funny about that is that in my whole life, I've never been somewhere where somebody says Zane and it's not regarding me, you know. So it's been an interesting night for me to hear this. But he's a great guy, I can already tell. Obviously, with a great daughter and my best friend. So I'm going to keep it brief because I'm not very good at this, but he did stand up and say something at my wedding. So I feel obligated. And also, I've known Sean probably longer than anyone that's not part of my family since I was, 18 months. We went to the same daycare and we grew up together. And we've been through a lot. And first, without getting off into the grass, I just wanted to say I'm just so happy to be here. I'm proud to be able to do this, and you guys are like my family, and I'm just so glad you're getting married because I get to see Miss Hiller and Kim, and I haven't seen them in it seems like 5 or 6 years now. So I'm just so proud to be here and be a part of this. First, I wanted to say, Ellie, I don't know you as well as I wish I did, but knowing my wife and how much she means to me and how much she's changed me, to see the change that has taken place in Sean's life, I know that's true, and I know that it takes such a strong woman to do that to someone, and you're going to have to look to her because there's going to be times in your life where she's the only one there, you know. So I'm just so glad you have a strong woman to do that, and I'm just proud of that. But Ellie, I just know you're a beautiful person inside and out. I knew that from the first time I met you because me and my wife, we came to eat with you guys, and I promise you there was not one thing said out of your mouth the entire night that was about you. You asked so many times, so many questions about our lives and what we do and you know who we are, because you just genuinely cared to know who, you know, some of Sean's friends were. So I knew from that moment how special you were, and so I'm proud of you for that, Sean. I think you outdid yourself, I'll tell you that. But so I'm just, like I said, I'm so happy that he found you. I think you're such a beautiful person, and I can't wait to get to know you more in our life because it's going to be a fantastic ride. But to Sean, you know, I'm sorry. There have been a lot of things in my life that have been constant, you know, but you always were and still are, no matter what. If I needed you, I know you would be there. So I thank you for that. There's so many more things I could say about you because, you know, we've got plenty of memories, but I think the main thing I wanted to tell you was how much I appreciate you. You're my best friend, and I wouldn't be here where I am without you because you are the most driven person that I've ever met. And I mean, I've learned a lot from you in it and looked up to you in that regard just to really push myself. So I love you, and I couldn't be happier for you guys together both. I hope that you have nothing but happiness, because I'll tell you, until I got married, I didn't know how great it could be. But it's truly something to be with the person that you love. I mean, it's amazing, and I hope that you guys get to experience that like I have, like we have, and I'm super proud, and congratulations.
Wow, that was amazing, right? I mean, who thought that was amazing? Just the friendship that Zane has and Sean, it's just been great over the years. And, you know, I've had good friendship with Sean, too. I remember really the first time I met Sean, it was amazing. I just moved up to Arley, where many of us went to high school, and we lived there on the lake. And right behind the lake, right behind our house at the lake, was this large cliff. Everyone came up just to jump off this cliff. And I remember that day, one of our neighbors, who was an FBI agent, had brought his SWAT team down there just to hang out. And there were these 6 huge men, these buff men like Navy SEALs, standing there on this cliff, drawing straws who had to jump first. Well, as we're laughing at these guys that can't make a decision how to jump off the cliff, out of the corner of our eyes, there's this about 11-year-old kid walking up the cliff of, I would say, short, generous proportion, with a bowl cut. And this guy is walking, but I notice as he gets closer, this passion in his eyes. He knew where he was going. And he comes up to these 6 huge guys, and not out of a rudeness, but out of this passion and drive, goes, "Excuse me," as he pushes them out of the way, and he runs towards the cliff and jumps off with his arms straight out and spirals down like a helicopter, and boom, in the water, splash. Water's everywhere. What a splash. And I said, wow, chubby guy's got some passion. And it was amazing. And you know, out of all the years I've known Sean, that's never changed. Through his high school years, through his college years, everything is passion. He sees what he values most, and he drives towards it like a rocket. He goes through brick walls. He would sink battleships to get what he values most. And you know, what's most interesting to me, and what's so curious, is that when you see someone like that, you can look what it is they have in their life and see what they value. And it's really clear to me, it's so obvious, you can't avoid it. that what he values is having someone in his life who's kind, who's honest, who's sweet, who's driven like he is, who loves God like he does. I believe, Ellie, that Sean would do anything on this planet for you. And there's nothing more I need to say. Congratulations, both of you. I'm so glad to be here. It's going to be a great day.
Hi. Oh. Sorry. Thank you. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm Shelly. I grew up with Ellie. I'm not a public speaker, so I want to go ahead and apologize. And I'm hoarse, and I'm nervous. So okay. I grew up with Ellie and went to high school with her, and she's just one of my best friends. So I wanted to come say something. But first thing I want to say is that senior year of high school, all of us sat on the couch of Rachel Walls' house and listed who we thought would get married in order of first to last, and Ellie was last. So I just think that's so funny because, one, we really underestimated Ellie's flirting game. But also, God's plan is just so much bigger and better than what we think, and so, sorry. But there's so many things I could say about Ellie and about me and Ellie and about Sean and about me and Sean. But one story that really sums up, I think, me and Ellie's friendship is me and Ellie played basketball together. It's a huge part of our friendship. And she would always come to my house and then ride with me and my family to the games sometimes. And one day, she knows what I'm about to say. One day, my mom said that we weren't allowed to leave until I brushed my hair. and I refused to brush my hair. And so we were 30 minutes late. And Ellie just sat there probably so annoyed with me. And she's they just talked about what a perfect child Ellie was. And I was exact opposite. And so I'm sure she just was dying and wanted to go to our basketball game. But I was I'm not brushing my hair. And that was in 10th grade. But anyways, that's a funny story, but it also just shows how patient Ellie is. The way that Ellie's mom talked about how good she is with people who are less fortunate, I even think she's so good with people who don't deserve her, and that's how I think of myself is I don't deserve your friendship, Ellie, and every day I'm literally so in awe of who you are and that I get to call you my friend. Sorry, I have to stick to the script or else I'll go. But like I said, that basketball is a huge part of me and Ellie and our friendship. So practice wasn't complete without Ellie's ponytail braid that would whip you if you got too close. And if you ran by Ellie, you would slide because she was so sweaty. But Ellie joining the basketball team in 8th grade was probably the best thing that happened to her. But it was also one of the best things to happen to me because that's when we became best friends. Ellie, somehow you managed, sorry, I'm so sorry. Somehow you managed to be my best friend, but also my role model. I've just never met someone like you. And I think a leader is someone who leads with action and not with words. And that's someone that you've been to me for forever. You're intense, but you're also sensitive, and you're kind, but you're also bold. And you are driven, but you're also intentional. And I think those are opposites of each other. And so the fact that you portray those so well is just puts me in awe. And I know that's the first thing that Sean saw when he met you. Sorry. So, but I love what Mr. Torrance said about how some people come and go and some people come and stay, and Ellie is someone who stays, and I know everyone in this room would agree with me. And so one last thing I want to say about Ellie is that a few months ago I was going through something hard, and Ellie immediately, so busy, is in the middle of an engagement, nursing school, junior year, which is just hard, college.
And she called me and was like, I'm on my way to Sylacauga, which is halfway in between where we are. And she was like, meet me there. And we just sat on the curb of Hobby Lobby and and talked for hours, and it meant the world to me. I like to tell stories. I think that sums up who Ellie is so much better than something I would ramble on about. But and then Sean, I remember freshman year in driver's ed with Ellie in high school, and we talked about what we wanted our husbands to be like, and she only said 2 things, and she said a baller. Her exact words were baller and like her dad. And I think that you are both of those and so much more. And last night I was in line at Taco Mama with my college friends who don't know you. And they were saying, is it like weird that your best friend's getting married to someone that you haven't gotten to spend a lot of time with? And I was like, no, it's not, because the first time that I met you on the porch at y'all's house, like a long time ago, like I knew right then. I was like, this is Ellie's husband. Like I can feel it and I can just see it. And I know everyone would say the same thing. Sean, I prayed for you before I met you, and I thank God for you after knowing you. And you're marrying my best friend, and I couldn't be more at peace with it. And so I know that it's good. So Ellie and Sean, I love y'all, and I'm so excited for this. And I'm sorry for sobbing this whole time.
Oh gosh, where to start? It's hard to impart the level of friendship we've had through the years, because in our 20 some odd years we've lived a lifetime of memories already, it seems. Now I'm not going to get up here and cry like Zane did, because I'm not a sissy, but tell you a story about one of the first real vivid memories I have of Sean. We were playing basketball together, and I was this awkward kid. I was terrible at basketball. And Sean, of course, is a basketball guru, you know. But we were all joking around in the locker room, just having fun, me and Cody Pratt and some of the guys. And Sean, he's just serious, locked in the zone, listening to his headphones like he did before every game, just to get in the mode. Well, we were all joking around playing, and Sean comes in there and chews us out and tells us we need to get serious about this high school basketball game. And we're all there like, who is this jerk? You know, we're just trying to have a good time. But, you know, later in life you see that drive and that motivation and the detail to those small things like that. You can see the difference it makes in life. And I see that now in Sean. And he's changed a lot through the years. I see him much more humble now than he used to be. He used to be an arrogant little cuss. But anyway, like I said, we've just lived so much life. There's no way to tell you in a short speech. But I'm very proud of who he's become. And I think we have a friendship that complements each other. He's got a lot of things I don't have, and I have things that he don't have. So, and it's one of those things, Ellie, I haven't known you very long, but I can tell this is the most excited Sean has been about anything in his entire life. And for me to see that, I know you must be something special. So I wish you all the best. And Sean, you've always been a brother to me, always will be. If y'all ever need anything, just call.
Hello, my name's Molly, and so I just want to start off with saying in elementary school, I was new to Briarwood in 3rd grade, and this is my first memory of Ellie. We were on the playground, and one of my friends came up and she said, "Hey Molly, I want you to meet these 2 girls," and literally Ellie and Judd, side by side, walk up like this, and Ellie's hair was like her afro, and instantly they were so nice to me, and I don't even know if we were like friends from then, but I just never forgot you guys. And so further on in junior high and high school, I like made Ellie play basketball. I called her mom and said, "Hey, Miss Jamie, like Ellie's trying out for basketball today. Like bring her tennis shoes." And we became best friends instantly. And I taught her everything she knew. But then through college, we both have been going to Stanford together, and we have grown immensely as best friends. And Ellie is someone that I never want to lose. Through countless lake trips to Mimi and Paul T's and just learning more about you, I got a call one day, and I think it was sophomore year, junior year, I don't even remember, but she's like, Molly, did you send 12 dozen roses to Sanford Hub, which is like the central campus? And it was Valentine's Day, and I was like, no, like, what in the world? And if you don't know Sean, he is just a hopeless romantic, and was not even like, they weren't even dating, but had sent a dozen roses to Sanford, and Ellie had to haul these roses across campus, and she was so mad because she hates attention on her. And so she was hauling these roses and didn't even know it was from Sean, like had no idea. And I just think that sums up them and sums up the pursuit that Sean has given Ellie and shown her. And I know Sean is the one for you, and you're the one for him. And you guys are the perfect ones to go through this journey first for all of our friends. And I'm blessed that I'm not soon after you, but I'm very thankful y'all get to go first so we can watch your mistakes and learn from them. But I love you guys, and Ellie, you've been there for me through a lot, and you've taught me a lot, and you were so bold and so easy to love and to celebrate here. And we are all so thankful that we're here tonight. And I can't wait to watch you guys go through marriage and start a family together. And I can't wait to be there alongside you guys, celebrating you always. And I've been praying for y'all, and will continue to pray for you always. And just enjoy tomorrow and enjoy your life you're going to start together. So I love you.
Hi, I'm Lori Catherine Vaughn. I'm the childhood best friend. Just to set the scene, so it's about 4 or 5 years, my age, and my dad and my entire family had just moved into Riverbrook, and we were new to everything, and we lived on this big hill, and there was a house right across the street. So my dad decided to get me and my brother to go and walk across the street to ask the neighbors if they wanted to play in the rain. We were half dressed, my dad was half dressed, and we knock on the Charnes' door, and my dad says, "Do you want to play in the rain?" And Mr. Zane looks up and down and says, "Absolutely." And the rest is history. And ever since then, Ellie's just been one of the truest friends. Not because we got along all the time when we were little. We were actually really different. If y'all didn't know, Ellie was the cutest little boy. Like, when she was 5, she had the little circle glasses and ears that stuck out, and a Batman shirt. She never took it off, and baggy camo pants. And we'd play on the trampoline for hours, and until sunset, Miss Jamie would come out and offer us peach tea, and it's one of my fondest memories. Until Judd would push us off, and I would go home and cry, and then we would make up on the top of the hill saying, like, "I'm sorry, I'll see you again tomorrow." And that was it every summer. And God molded us so beautifully from our childhood, and he made you one of the most beautiful girls I know. When we grew up, you never forgot me. You welcomed me always in all my weird stages of life, my punk angsty phase, and my hipster phase, and even my mean girl phase. I remember 2 moments in high school when I realized, like, you were a woman and we were just little girls. Ellie's the only person, one of my friends in high school, that ever confronted me about anything that I was doing wrong, or that didn't seem glorifying, or that seemed like it would hurt my heart and my soul. I think Ellie guarded my heart more than I should have guarded mine. Woof. And the second is that, this is weird, this is funny what you remember, but she journaled every single day in study hall for an entire year. I was over in the corner talking about who liked who, and wearing my cheer uniform, and just loving life, and Ellie was sitting there, so I don't know what the heck you wrote about, but you did it every day. And I just remember being like, that's something that I hope I can emulate. You're always one of a kind, not because you try to be. That's what I'm doing up here, being all theatrical, but because you're genuine and you're real, and you see the world through eternal lenses, and you see yourself as a vessel of the gospel. I thought I was going to cry. I want you to know I was in that back corner just sobbing. I've never cried so hard. I love you guys, but I can't decide who I'm happier for. For Sean, who by the grace of God loves you, and for Ellie, meeting the man her dad has prayed for ever since she was in the womb. So here's all the memories of Jim, Mimi and Paul T, and the creek, and mint patties, and sitting in trees and playing kickball, and sleeping in sand on the Sipsey riverbank, and falling off our bikes, BMXing and drinking out of hoses, and growing in grace with you. Today is not about, or tomorrow, is not about vanishing happiness, but about the powerful, undeniable glory of Christ. I think that Tim Keller said it best. The reason that marriage is so painful and yet wonderful is because it is a reflection of the gospel, which is painful and wonderful at once. I love y'all, and I really hope you don't forget me, because I just won't let you. So it's perfect. All right.
That was my daughter. She doesn't claim me very much. I want to talk a little bit about the Torrance family. I really don't like the Torrance family. The reason being, what? Oh, to the microphone. The reason being, they're not normal. Okay, I mean, they're good looking, they're hardworking, they're smart, they love their family. I hate them. Okay, because, they even all have hair. So, Zane and I have been friends ever since the famous diaper in the rain story. Only one man would be crazy enough to go out and play in the rain with another man, and that's Zane and me. And we had a great time. Zane has done such a great job with his family, and I'm so proud of them and proud that you've had an influence on our life and our kids. And you've done that intentionally, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. You and Jamie are special to us. Now, we live across the street from them. Can you just think for a second, living across the street from Zane. Okay, just think about that. And our front yard looks like a football field because it is about the size of a football field. And sincerely, we probably played at least 1,000 games of soccer, of football, of kickball, of wiffle ball. You name the ball, we played it. Okay, and Zane, of course, doesn't, and Ellie too, doesn't take anything seriously, is not competitive at all, right? So I'll be playing in the front yard with the kids, and Zane will come home and say, okay, come on, Zane, come on, play with us. Because Dan says, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to shift to the left and to the right, and then I'm going to throw you the ball, and Dr. Vaughn ain't going to have a clue what's happening. Okay? And so he tells Ellie, Ellie's on, we divide up, and Ellie was on Zane's team, and he'd say, kill him, Ellie. Kill him. And Ellie would get that look in her eye, and she'd start coming at me. I'm going, what do I do with a 6-year-old girl running at me trying to kill me? Okay? And I could mostly outrun her until about 8th or 9th grade. Then she could outrun me. And the last time we played football, I couldn't walk for a week because I pulled my hamstring. Trying to get out of Ellie, she was trying to kill me again. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to tell, and then Zane's mom, I'm sorry, blocking on it. But anyway, she had a Sugar Shack truck, and she would buy all the sugar that she could in the drugstore and pharmacy and bring it to our house and open it up and say, get all you want, kids. And I'm going, you're going to sugar them up into craziness. She says, that's your problem. So anyway, congratulations to y'all. Y'all are very special, and I know you'll have a great marriage. And just, we pray for y'all. All right, I'm out of here.
All right, if there's no one else, we're going to allow Sean to take the mic. It's how many pages is it?
Oh man, all I can say is wow. I mean, this has been something that Ellie and I we can't really take attention very well unless it's totally not. If we're in a place where we can just go and kind of take a room, we'll do it. But if it's about us, we get really kind of weirded out and nervous. And I've been nervous this whole time sitting here. But it's been amazing seeing you guys walk up here and say the things you said, and just the people in the room. I can feel it. I can feel the love. I really can. That's so impressive. So I'm going to try to stick to the script. I'm not a crier, but man, I've been really close, so hopefully it won't happen. I just want to thank you all for coming. It means so much to us that you were here and that you chose to pour in to Ellie and I tonight and invest in us. We can feel it. I'm getting to marry a girl who is deeply loved by so many people. And hearing some of you speak and talking with some of you tonight, I can see it with my own eyes how loved she is. I know that means a ton to her, but also means the world to me to know that so many care for her. This has been unforgettable in so many ways. Getting to hear speeches from my guys and hearing the things that some of Ellie's friends have said, we will always remember it. There are some amazing people in the room, and I know some of you. I don't know all of you. If I don't know you, please introduce yourself to me, because if you're in the room, you're important. And everyone in here we love and we care about, and I want to know all of you, because at some point in her life and at some point in my life, you've made a huge impact. And I really appreciate that. You've shaped who we are. I do have a few words I want to say to some of you. So there's very few times in life where you have so many people in the room who you care so deeply about and return the favor to you. And I'd be crazy if I didn't take this opportunity to say some things about that, because it may never happen again. First, to my guys, every one of you have a special place in my heart. You've all meant a ton to me at different points in life, and all of you have made my life richer because I know you and I get to call you friend. Thank you for being here. I've told all of you this, but for everyone who doesn't know it and hasn't heard it, the historical position of a groomsman actually started in ancient Rome. The groom would appoint a group of their noblest friends, their noblest men, and their job was to protect his bride until the day of the wedding and after it if he called. Guys, I gave you all a gift earlier with some of you. I'll give the rest of you later. It has Proverbs 17:17 on it. Proverbs 17:17 reads, "A friend loves at all time, but a brother was born for adversity." I know adversity is going to come, and when it does, I'm asking each of you to help protect my bride and help protect us. And I know I can always count on every one of you. You've always been there for me. To the bride's crew, I don't know each of you. I know some of you a little bit. I want to know all of you. Hey, Laura, I see you. Each of you know Ellie very well, and since you know her, you know that she is deep. So if she asks you to be here and stand by her in front of everyone tomorrow, you have to know that she loves you and she holds you very close to her heart. Thank you for being here and being there for her always to help her along the way. Even after the wedding is said and done, if you're close to Ellie, I want to know you, so hopefully we'll be around each other a lot moving forward, but just know that that girl sitting right there loves you deeply. For our sisters, Judd, Kim, and Emma, I want you guys to know and to understand that, firstly, you're not losing a sister. You're not losing a brother. I know you probably don't really care, but I know you're not losing me. We're going to need you guys big time. We're going to need y'all a lot. There's going to be times when we're doing really well and we want you around because we want you to be in that. And there's going to be times we're not doing so well and we're going to want you around because we want you to be in that. We want you. We're going to need you. We're so ready to do this. We're so excited to do this, but we'll take all the help we can get. And anybody who's willing to be there will take it. So you're not losing a sister. You're gaining something that's meant to be a reflection of Christ in the church, and that's more of gain than anything else it could be. So we want you to be there. To Zane and Jamie, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to pursue your daughter. I want to thank you for the way you have brought her up and the ideas, the characteristics, the traits, the quirks that you've instilled in her to make her who she is. You have raised the woman whom my soul loves. I can't thank you enough for that. it is such a blessing to know that you guys will be there for us on this journey, and I want you to know that you are giving Ellie's hand to someone who truly adores her. I promise you that I will cherish her and I will love her to the absolute best of my ability, and I will pray that where my ability ends, Christ will take over and help me cherish and love her abundantly more than I ever could on my own. I love you guys. Thank you for helping to make Ellie Ellie. Mom, there's so many things I could stand up here and say about what you've done for me and how you've meant just to me in different stages of life and everything I put you through when I was younger. I'm so sorry for that. But you've always the things that's astounded me the most about you is the depth of the love that you've shown Kim and I. You taught me from a young age what an unselfish love and what a sacrificial love looks like. You lived it and you still do. I will tell anyone that I have the greatest mom in the world. You've gone way past and beyond the call of motherly duty, and I thank you for that. You have given me the gift of an unquestionable love. It's a gift I pray I can learn to give as well. Ellie is going to get an amazing mother-in-law. Amazing. So I know I said a lot, but I would be crazy not to. It's not every day that you have the ears of the most important people in your life. And I want you all to know you are important to us and we care about you. Thank you for being here.
Okay, sorry, Amy and I are planning. Thank you all again. Here's what we're going to do. We would like for all of y'all, if you would, to just come up here. We're going to stand around Ellie and Sean. Y'all can just stay seated. But Scripture talks a lot about surrounding each other and how God surrounds us with a great cloud of witnesses. In the Old Testament, there was a lot of surrounding by angels. So if y'all would get up, we're going to surround this couple. And then Kyle, you've meant so much to this relationship and to Sean and Ellie and what you've done in their spiritual formation. So we're going to let Kyle pray. But if everybody would come stand around him, touch him if you want to. There's something special about that. And then we'll be dismissed and can't wait to see y'all tomorrow. All right, let's stand around. Yeah.
All right. Father, we thank you for who you are. God, we acknowledge that you are good and that you are good regardless of the things that you do for us. God, you have put Ellie and Sean together, and God, we know that's good, but you're good even apart from that. So we just praise you in this time for being who you are, for being holy, for being good. But God, we come tonight and tomorrow praising the fact that you have brought them together, God. And God, Ellie and Sean, they mean so much to us all. And we thank you for their lives, their testimony, and their reflection of you, God. And God, as friends, as family, we ask that you bless their marriage, that you protect their marriage. God, we know that spiritual warfare is a real thing, God, and that there will be times where it's going to be hard to love one another. But God, as we said, you have created marriage to sustain the love. And God, we ask that you'll do that you'll allow us as friends and as family to support them, to encourage them well, and to continue to point them to Jesus. God, we ask that you'll continue to be with their relationship, allow them to point one another towards you. God, and we're just so thankful for the testimony and that all of the glory that they will bring to the kingdom. God, we love you. We thank you. Praise all in Jesus' name. Amen.